Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I don't know what date it is, November 15th. There we go, November 15th. Contributor Celebration Planning Meeting. I will be your host today, Bob, aka Mr. Bobby Tables across all the things. As a general reminder, these meetings are recorded and we posted to the internet sometime later when the YouTube admins get around to it. And we all abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which can essentially be boiled down to please be excellent to each other. I am going to dive right in. I have this meeting conflicts with the Kubernetes steering meeting, which starts at like 12:30. So gonna try and blitz through as much as possible in 30 minutes. With that, if let me drop a link to this again. Hey, Josh. I started stubbing out a schedule right at the top. And I think that's the big thing that we need to sort of work out and get going. I can share my screen too. Oh, Zoom. Why? Okay, there we go. Can folks see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we are in the week of November 15th. And the big thing is we need to, oh, my apologies. I skipped intros. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to continue with skipping intros. Sorry about that. So the big thing is for this week, we need to stub out the website and get registration up and going. And that really precedes any sort of initial comms that we should be sending out. As far as who takes ownership of those things and order of operations, I think it's really sort of registration and website first. Does anyone have any thoughts on this or any other items that should get done this week?
No.
Okay. Actually, one other thing I completely forgot to mention, Allison had to step away from running the summit or the celebration. So I am sort of stepping in to lead it in her stead. So sorry for the sudden change on things. Okay. As far as who wants to take ownership of this stuff, does anyone want to sign up for any of these tasks for this week?
I can do comms.
Website is essentially okay.
Do we have last year's sign up form?
Also sending it out. Yes, we have last year's form. We have the website from last year.
Yeah, we can put
in fact, it's still archived and available on there.
You can put me down for the form.
Okay.
A little more context on the website, please.
So, oops, it'd help if I could spell that correctly. So last year we have this page. It's essentially the homepage for the event. And for this is the basically place we'll be directing everyone to. So we want to sort of clone this, but instead of, past events, have this be the current one. Other one is the contributor summit needs to now move over to past events. And that's a separate thing. There will be some changes for this year. Like we won't need to list all the different games here. But we'll still want to copy the majority of this, the FAQ, the schedule, this can just be schedule TBD type thing. How to join. Some of this stuff will slightly change too. but for the most part, it will remain similar. The big thing is that we would definitely want is at least this landing page here and potentially a copy of this FAQ, which will contain like the registration information. Yeah, here we go.
I can stub this out and then archive the summit
Okay.
in one PR.
Does everyone think that they can get this done by the end of the week?
I'm going to get it done tonight because I'm moving.
You sure you want to do it and you don't want me to?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay, so with those tasks out, thinking about the stuff, the upcoming things, stepping out Discord, gathering things for the actual awards for the celebration, the things like the bake off and all that. Are there any items on this schedule that we should set ahead of time at this point in time?
I mean, I feel like we should have the actual physical awards, whatever the nominees are getting, hammered out at some point well before, so we aren't rushing after the fact to get everything ordered and shipped out. I know it was kind of different last year because you had to order them ad hoc, but if we could get that determined, that'd be great.
Okay, so when, and that's mostly us brainstorming at this point.
Yeah, and would that be, Deb, are you in charge of that budget, or what's the
Deb,
do we just interface? Because what I've been reading is don't order it on our credit card, make sure the CNCF gets it.
Yeah. That is something we get to delegate to Deb.
I'm happy
Okay,
to take
cool.
on any payments or whatever you need.
Okay.
Question. Question regarding Discord. I just looked at the email from last year. The initial invite included a link to Discord. Do we still want to have that in there, or just tell people go to the website for all info?
We can tell people to go to the website for all info. We will not actually send out the link to Discord or make it publicly available until the final week. So essentially the registration is more of like sign up to get like, hey, here's the link to Discord and join here type dealy. This is mostly because like we don't want to have to moderate another property until until then.
Right. Makes sense. Got it.
So something else, moderators selected. Josh, were you taking point on the whatchamacallit, the Bake Off and Crafter Netties?
Yeah. Yeah, so those are both, I'm trying to figure out the cast for the Bake Off.
Okay.
And then we'll do that. And I'm currently discussing among the crafty folks, both trying to get somebody to help with the award design. That's hopefully not me. And the second part is coming up with an interesting artsy activity.
Okay. For the Bake Off, do you think we can just reuse the description from last year? I can pull it up.
Yeah, I think so. The only thing we're going to be changing is the sort of the cast. So
okay.
Yeah,
I will link it here.
Yep. And we might, once we get that group, we might decide that it doesn't have to be a dessert.
Okay.
But just because I would be interested to see, somebody making a Kubernetes calzone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can take on the design stuff if that's helpful, and also help run the kitchen cooking stuff.
Cool.
Okay. So
I could not tell who was speaking.
Hippie.
Oh, it's Hippie. Okay, got it. The
So as far as guests and sort of event details, when do you think we could have that finalized?
for both of those things, for the bake off for the for the judge panel, should probably be able to figure that out this week.
Okay.
Among other things, so if I don't figure it out this week, then I'm not figuring it out for 2 weeks. So got to get it now. We have to figure out what the artsy activity is this week too, also, if we're going to make it even happen. So
What activity?
So I realized that we actually have a lot of people in Kubernetes who are some kind of artist.
Okay. Sorry,
and so we should do something around the celebration with that. We just haven't figured out what.
Okay.
Sorry, I just misheard the word arty.
Artsy, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Okay. Next week, I'm also assuming is a little bit of a wash with the US holiday. Is there anything that you all think we should try and do or get done next week? Okay. I think that will just be, continue with Discord and stubbing that out. If you need an invite to it, please ping me in Summit staff, and I will send out invites to all staff members ahead of time. Actually, this is jumping down a bit, but Deb, do you think you could get us a sketched?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what we can do for next week is add sketch page to website. And that should be pretty easy. Oops. And I can take care of those next week. Unless someone else would potentially want to like embed the sketch page. It's pretty easy and sort of a copy and paste from what we have right now.
I can do that for you.
Okay.
To confirm, since I'm requesting this, the dates are going to be December 16th through 19th. Is that correct?
Let's see, let me pull up the calendar. We might do something sort of the week of December. So I would say it could potentially start on the 13th.
Okay.
If we're doing something. So for context, one of the things we've talked about sort of recently in like the ContribEx meeting and a few other places is potentially doing like a few small hackathon type of things. Like one might be a sort of master to main migration thing. Try and get people to catch up on, since Kubernetes still has like 200 and some odd repos that are still on the master branch. And that might conflict with some of the other stuff with the mailing list changes, Josh. Sorry, this is going back to the ContribEx meeting.
I don't know how the mailing list changes going to affect anything on GitHub.
I thought it was just going to be like too many things at once.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why we weren't going to try to do that. Except we did say for all of the smaller repos, it would be possible. It's just trying to do KK or K community or any of the big repos.
Okay.
It was going to be like hey, let's not do this while we're also migrating the mailing list.
So as an event, we can at least have the Great Master Domain Migration Week. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Thanks for people that have been taking notes. Let's see. Is anything really missing from the schedule so far that like we can think of leading up to the event? Like I know there's going to be like little subtasks and things like that in here, but as far as the big things can.
Are we trying to plan out all of the activities ahead of time, or is this really creating the framework and then in the next couple of weeks plan out all the activities?
I ideally at least try and get like the big activities down this week. Mostly so that we have content to put on the website. So when we send out the comms, it's like, oh look, it's like we're gonna have the bake off again, or we're gonna have crafter netties and some of this stuff. So if we can at least think of some of the larger events that we might run during it, that would be useful. They don't need to be fully planned out, but as long as we have an idea of them.
Okay.
About the awards, so are we gonna like present physical awards or some virtual thingy?
Sorry, Cody, go for it.
Yeah, there will be some type of award. We just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, we're talking design. We're assuming that it's going to be something flat, that it's going to be like a mini poster again, simply because we have to mail it to people.
Yep.
And trying to mail people anything sculptural is going to be painful.
And even shipping stuff flat has its own set of problems that we
Yes.
discovered last year.
Yes.
Like oddly enough, shipping to Canada was the worst.
I could have told you that.
Yeah.
I can, from shipping pottery, this that I'm like, I'll send stuff to Germany, but not to Canada.
Okay. Moving down the list, back to the notes. Do we want to try and do shirt giveaways again? Last year is based off, if you are active in Discord, the bot would basically give you a higher weighted chance of getting a t-shirt.
I thought SIG raffle went well in
Okay.
retrospect.
Me too. I think we would just have to poke Marco again about bringing the bot back online.
Did we have to pre-bake that thing with CNCF codes or?
Yeah, we did have to get the CNCF codes and all that ahead of time. So Deb?
Yeah, just tell me how many you need.
Okay. Last year, I think do you remember how many we did last year? Was it 100?
That actually sounds right, but I can verify.
Okay.
I'm sure I have notes on it.
I would be okay with doing a copy and paste of last year to make it easy.
Okay.
Art. Are we talking about unique shirts for this, or some shirt we already have?
This would be like the Kubernetes shirt. This is the one that's available in the CNCF store.
Okay.
Josh, you didn't make any shirts for Contributor Summit this year, right?
Yes, I made a design, but nothing was printed.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're welcome to the design, but it'll seem a little weird since it's kind of directly associated with LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just asking. It might be. I was going to say it'd be a good way to offload some of your.
Yeah. It would be wonderful if we could get our hands on the Amsterdam ones, but I have no idea what those are these days. They weren't anywhere where they were prepared for being shipped.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. Are there any other contributor focused events that we want to the reward design from last year?
I think Ryan means award.
Yeah. The awards were a little constellation thing. I don't have them handy, but I can like get there's
Here,
you'll
I
also
got
see
I
it.
got the link.
Okay. Thank you, Cody.
Mhm.
Oh, there we go. Hippie's holding it up if you want to see.
It has the night sky.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Was brought up
At the
date.
yep,
pretty
the
cool.
first commit of Kubernetes. Okay. So I have 7 minutes left. Are there any other contributor focused events we want to start getting going on now?
I could run an instance of Iron Chef, and then we just, let some contributors kind of sign up and then get abused by me. That is pretty, like, from an effort standpoint.
Can you tell everyone what Iron Chef is?
So I can have 2 to 4 people compete head to head at a random tech based contributor challenge. The format is pretty simple. If you've seen Iron Chef on TV, there was an old one and a new one. It's similar thing. It's also pretty much a cut and paste type of event. I have like the only thing I would need to know ahead of time and who's competing, and then what I'm going to force them to do.
Could we get would it be too in your face to have like a randomized drawing of who that is, and if you compete then you get XYZ, something like that?
Again, from my perspective, as long as it is a pool of people that have signed up and know full well that I'm going to make them do something,
so
who faces who is fine.
Idea for this, if we do want to do this, what I would do is make it a part of the like registration form, and then just make it explicit that the date and time that we're doing this is known ahead of time. So maybe they get alerted the day before that they're going to be on this, so that way you can, if someone's not available, you can go down a list.
Yep. But again, like from a set up effort standpoint, once I have the people, like the event is easy. I still have everything from last year or 2 years ago.
We also, as a general note, we have access to the contributor StreamYard account, which can take 10 people at a 1080p stream and broadcast it to YouTube, Twitch, and all that. So we have much better streaming capabilities this time. And I also believe Discord now can just tie directly into a YouTube stream for collective viewing.
So that was one idea. And I know you have like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Another idea was, I think it would be interesting if, and this isn't necessarily to rate them, but if we collected pictures of contributors' setups. Essentially, we always see people facing this way. Let's show a camera facing this way if we can, and like show people all the different like backgrounds, all the different environments.
I like that. And that could just be a channel.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
The hashtag hardware channel or something like that.
Right. Pimp your setup.
Yep, exactly.
Can we avoid
I'd have to clean my desk though. Yeah, no, we can't we can't name the channel that. I realize this.
Yeah.
But we can definitely add a channel like that, because I know we have a bunch of Keeb enthusiasts too that would like to show off their Keebs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like I got my nice ErgoDocs.
Hippie's waving his hands around.
Yeah.
We're also flying in all of the II staff that can attend to the II pad, our new location here in Tauranga on the beach. And so we actually have a production studio we're putting together, so we could probably host some pretty cool online-y things with some humans to help put tasks to hand. And there's a dedicated kitchen there for doing video cooking and stuff. So it might be fun to be part of the foodtivities and the streamivities.
Okay, so
The hallway track for KubeCon was really fun. I streamed the talks, and there were 30 to 60 people, depending on, all getting to talk over the talks, and that made it much more like we were in the room where it happened. So if there's anything that II can do to help us connect together with using our facilities or the people who are kind of in-house for that week, we'd love to show up.
Hippie Hacker and the AI team enhanced the hallway experience a lot. You can watch for it.
Oh, yeah. And restreaming stuff.
Yeah, and restreaming, and his massive 5 LED TVs and his 3 cameras, and yeah, the whole AI team. Caleb, yeah, ask Caleb how he is, and yeah.
Okay.
All around. Great.
Also,
community.
I was reminded of this because of all the chef and kitchen references, but yeah, I don't know if anybody else managed to pick a copy of this up at KubeCon, but I think this was a really, really nice touch to, what's the word I'm looking for? So something like this community cookbook, yes, would be a really, really nice thing to do. Maybe not physical, maybe, I don't know if we can pull off the shipping for that, but I guess even.
I think there's actually a virtual copy. Yeah, like there's a copy of it available, I think, in the CNCF repo someplace.
Yeah, I meant let's do something similar, maybe not the exact same thing.
Yeah. Ask people to like submit their recipes. You can have the Kubernetes, cookbook or whatever it is.
There's an open repo. I think we could contribute and make it larger, and that way we have this. This is our cookbook
collective thing.
Nobody's maintaining it as of now. I submitted a PR
I'll pick
a month
that up.
ago or so.
I worked at Chef for a while, so it's kind of fun to flow from working at Chef with ingredients and doing things to maybe helping keep that cookbook going. There's a recipe in there from Texas vegan chili. Go take a look.
We are very short on time at this point. Something else I do want to just mention too, for DevOps party games with like Jackbox games, we can now create custom lists of questions. So if we can all collectively start thinking of Kubernetes questions that would be good for Jackbox games, we can pre-seed a list. And that I can like create a spreadsheet for and share. With that, we are, out of time for today. If we have any other sort of follow-up items, let's try and use the Slack as much as possible. I know, especially this team is pretty globally distributed, so the more we can solve, we can do there asynchronously, the better. But with that, thank you all for coming, and thanks for also being, okay with this, like, sort of switch out the last minute of things. And I will, see you all around in Slack.
This meeting is supposed to be 1 hour, right?
Huh?